welcome to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Q&A.
Welcome, everybody. We are happy to be back. We took a week break?
2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow, those 2 weeks flew by for me. It felt like one.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. Anyways, so we've got not a lot of questions today, so you can send your question. Want to tell them?
Yeah, you can send your questions in on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, wherever you send them in. We do have somebody monitoring them and submitting them to us live, so we will get to all of your questions today.
And we like when you say, hi, it's Janet. You know, I'm from this state or that province or from the UK. It's always nice to do that, okay? If you don't mind.
Yeah.
And also, we're also going to be setting up something else because we've had a few requests.
Yeah. So we're going to actually be having a form on our website where you can go to the website and just submit all your questions there. And that way we'll have them stored in the same spot, and it'll be easier for us to manage and monitor all of the questions. So that'll be our new way to take all of your questions. And then you can also call in. So if you call 1-855-900-4544 and go with extension 5, we'll put you on speaker, and then you can talk live with us on the air as well.
And, you know, we're just trying to do all the different avenues because everybody's different. Mm-hmm. Some people like it this way. Some people like it that way. Tomato. Yeah. So we're going to do it the way that you like it, okay? Because this is your show. Yeah. And understand something. Unless you're going to question authority, then you'll never become the authority in your life. I want you to really take this home today, okay? There's not one person out there that doesn't have questions about their children, their baby, their husband, their wife. Everybody's got questions. Why, if we're so amazing, can we not heal ourselves? Why is it that I break down crying 5 times a day? Why is it that when my husband does this, it sets me off? Why, when I do this, my wife sets me off? Why is it that as soon as I feel like I'm going to be successful in this relationship or in this business, I go and I undermine it and I blow it up? Why do I do that? Why is it that every time I've got a really beautiful idea and something that's going to honor and respect myself, that I hesitate and I don't follow through? So understand something. Until you understand you, then you're never going to have the life that you ever were promised or you deserve. What do you think, Abby?
100%. It's such a big thing. And it's something that we see people struggle with all the time, is finding that drive to keep pushing through and to not hesitate and just go with it and take that leap. So when you can take that leap, your life is going to change. Just keep going forward, keep moving forward. And even if you have to take a step back, that's still winning. The only time you're ever going to actually fail is when you quit. So just keep moving forward.
Let's understand something right now. Don't opt into everybody's game. Everybody's got a game going on, okay? Your game is the most important, all right? You need to really focus on your game. And understand, when you enter another's game, ask yourself if you even want to be there, okay? Whether it's a relative or somebody at work or something you used to do and you're okay with it, but you're not anymore. Stop dishonoring and disrespecting yourself. Let me tell you something. Until you respect yourself, then you're not going to get respect back from the universe or from anyone else. Why are you being disrespected? Why aren't people honoring you? Well, why don't you take a look at the game you're playing and how you're functioning, and then I think you're going to have your answer, okay? You're really going to have your answer. All right, so let's start with something.
Let's get to it. So first question is from Iris Ulrich, and she asks, how much for a consultation with you?
It's $350 US for a consultation with me. And then with Canadians, we do adjust the price. And if it's a 2-hour consultation, because a lot of people want to go in on the emotional or the nutritional, or you might get a couple. They both want to have a consultation. So it ends up being 2 hours. Or if it's, okay, all right. Okay, here's the deal. the more chronic your illness is, okay, the more dysfunctional beliefs you're running and the deeper the hooks are in you. Did you get that? So understand something. Like cancer, that is probably, of all the conditions, it's the one that ranks right at the top, is unconditional physical and emotional abuse to oneself. Come on. Got to store it somewhere. And remember what I said, everything comes from the invisible and then becomes visible. So thought, okay, form becomes physical form. And when you can't process a thought, it's got to be stored. So until you're willing to look at something in your life, okay, it's going to stay inside of you and it's not going to leave. When you're ready to look at something and deal with something, then it will leave. So there will be issues in your tissues, okay, as long as you do not understand the one golden rule. You need to go back in time. You need to go back in time. You need to go back in your past, in this present moment, to rewrite the story so that you can have the future that you've always wanted. Sickness has always come back because you didn't deal with the problem. Now, understand the number 7 is huge. Okay? Most things that you will find that happen to you are before the age of 7. 99.9% of all the traumas and the dramas and the dysfunctional beliefs that you're running happened before 14, but the major part of them were before 7. And understand something. Every belief that you have, dysfunctional ones, those beliefs are alive. They're called entities, and they're alive, and they want to be fed. So they will set you up with what we call reactors, so that you're moving along, you're having a beautiful day, and you smell something, you see something, you hear something. Something happens, triggers the reactor, and then the belief comes up. I don't know why I'm just breaking down crying. I don't know why I'm angry. I don't know why. And I'll tell you why. Because we need to go back in time and find out where that dysfunctional emotion was first initiated. Unable to be processed, was buried into the subconscious, and guess what? Remember, thought form becomes physical form. So, your destructive behaviors are from dysfunctional beliefs that are living entities that need to be fed. And whatever you feed grows bigger. So whatever you feed grows bigger until you create a monster that you're still feeding, but now it's feeding off of you until there's nothing left. Hello, cancer. Hello, everything. Hello, every disease. So understand, even though you might have emotionally changed, that's why we do Wolfe Non-Surgical, because I have people that have actually gotten through the emotional part, but it's rare. So let's just put that, let's make sure we put that right here. It's rare. And we'll go in and they'll go, I've done so much work on myself and I don't know why I have that. Well, because that reactor happens so many times, and every time you react, you create adrenaline and cortisol and acidity in your body that creates a scar tissue, and it goes into the weak link, and then the weak link has all that scar tissue like beef jerky. Mm-hmm. So your mind can't break it down that easy. You have to be very, very powerful. I haven't been able to do that, but when I find out, I'll teach you. So when we go in with the Wolfe Non-Surgical, we're able to take a fibroid down the size of a melon, maybe 30 or 40 or even up to 50% in one treatment. It's going to come back if we don't take a look at the belief that we're feeding that takes the thought form, which is the invisible, and creates the physical form, which is the visible. And the most powerful part of you is invisible, and that's called your spirit. So we'll go through that when we have the consultation. But the reality is, okay, we're going to get right down to it, that there's nothing bad about you. There is no good or bad, but there are beliefs that will take you down and destroy you. Okay? All right? They will ravage your life. All right, next question.
That's the big thing too with life. We get in our comfort zone, and then sometimes we like outside.
But it's not
of
comfortable.
That,
Hold on.
Oh, we're very uncomfortable in it, but it's
No.
comfort
We're
zone.
comfortable with suffering because the suffering program is the most okay. The suffering protocol is the most powerful protocol in our bodies, not the self-love one. Okay, I'm going to only touch on this. Don't mean to cut you off, and then I want you to think about this. Okay, society systems, all of them, and very few religions, definitely not the government, they all dishonor the spirit, and that's what we have to honor, and that's when you take your power back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with our comfort zone where we are actually very uncomfortable because it's not a comfortable place.
I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's the only thing I've ever known.
Yeah. But around that comfort zone, we have fear. So when we try to step out of our comfort zone, we get this fear coming in, and we have to power through that fear and conquer those fears because that's just our subconscious programming. Once we can step past that fear, we get into a learning area where we learn and then we can grow from there, and that's where we grow consciously. So we have to not be afraid of being afraid. We have to get through that and go into a zone where we get into healing and mastering our emotions, mastering our minds, mastering our bodies.
But don't forget, what does fear stand for?
False evidence appearing real.
Okay, so that was the actual belief system that you took on. Okay, you could have been playing in a sandbox and something went down. And guess what? You've taken that sandbox for the last 50 years and made it into a kitty litter. So unless you want to go into and erase and replace the story in the past, look at it. Until I did my work, like if you go to the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, the 2 last steps really get into it deeply, and they teach you to go back in time and rewrite the story. How would you like that story to have been told? If you were sexually abused, physically abused, or you feel you were emotionally abused, which, that is a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are, right? So you got to go back and you got to rewrite the story. Okay, so you rewrite the story the way that you would like to see it, the way that you would like to be it. And then you move forward in time. But anyways, check out the 12 self-loving steps on Braveheart, okay?
It's mind mapping and recall healing is what you want to look at for that one, which is the last steps of the Braveheart steps.
You really want to get into those, but you got to do the other 10 steps
So
before
important.
You really dive into that, because the thing is, until you are actually going to embrace the idea that unconditional self-love is the way to the spirit, then you're just going to go in there and sabotage yourself, because the belief will be bigger than the new belief. So we've got to get the new belief, because it's just beliefs. There was a time that I hated myself, called myself names, called everybody else names too. Right? And there was times when I wanted to hate other people, and it made me feel good to hate other people. But it was only disempowering me, but it felt good to hate other people because I was running a dysfunctional belief that needed to be fed, so I had to hate other people. Okay.
All right. Thank you for your question. So again, that was $350 for an hour consultation.
You just got one. Okay?
Just in case you missed the answer.
That's
to your
right.
question.
And if you end up doing it for 2 hours, it's $500. Yeah. But what happens is we tape it, we send it to you, and then the other thing is that you have access to me. You do. And people go, how do you do it? Well, we do it because we teach people to take their power back, and that's the whole deal. If we didn't give you back your power and we left you crippled, then you would be upset with us because you got ripped off, and then you'd be asking a million questions because our programs weren't right. When you come from a dysfunctional program, then you're never going to get fixed. Then you would be just going crazy and calling all the time. But the reality is at the beginning, you may call 5 times a day, and we will honor and respect you for that. Because every question, and the ones that you go, oh, I don't want to bother him. He's so whatever he is. Okay? And this is such a silly question. Well, that's just your belief and you're actually dishonoring yourself, disrespecting your spirit, okay? And you just bought into that BS, dysfunctional belief system. So we need you to always honor yourself and call. And even if you don't have a consultation with us, please call us, okay? And the only thing that we ask is that you try to stay on point. Try to put your points down. And the other thing is, because we're here for you, and I want you to understand, did you ever take a look at people in your family and they always got to get into this deep story? I mean, they just go on and on and on and on, okay? They're insane. They're insane. And their belief systems are driving them insane. And what you got to do is, if you're in front of someone, like, or let's say it was your wife, or not picking on women, so let's say it was a man. So it was Jim, okay? And Jim's just going on and on like he does. He rants and raves. Well, it's not him. His spirit would never rant and rave. And you're going to go, Jim, come back here. Come back here. Look, me, here. Because it's not Jim. So what we want you to do is make sure you're clear when you call us. No matter what the trauma, what the drama, stay connected to your lion heart breathing and then call us.
All right. Thank you so much. Next one is an intercom question. I was wondering, can a person heal themselves from HSV1 and HSV2? A relative of mine has had it, I believe, for many years. They have asked me to help them find a cure, but I don't have the answer. Would greatly appreciate if you could help.
Well, understand something. Let's just put that word to sleep, because the only cure is the person, and the only cure is the person's vibration. But we can definitely help that person with their emotional, psychological, and their physical vibration. Because remember, as Louis Pasteur said, that the bug is not the problem. It's the inner train. Abby, would you like to take it?
Yeah, the inner train is everything when it comes to our bodies, right? If our vibration is high, then lower vibrational frequency beings can't be in that environment. So really important to take a look at the perfect day. The Braveheart steps, of course, because with any condition like that, sometimes that can really affect our emotions, because we think that maybe we did something wrong when that's not the case. Some things happen. And everybody honestly has HSV1. They put it in every vaccine. So everybody has that. It's canker sores, cold sores, things of that nature. So, and HSV2, that's the genital version, I guess. And the biggest thing for that is you need something that is going to protect you from viruses, and that is humic acid. So humic acid concentrate, the black gold, and the tummy love, those will actually wipe viruses out of the system, and then it wraps the host cell in a prophylactic coating so it can't get reattached to. So imagine it's like covered up, and the virus comes in the system and it can't even get to it. So it's like the virus doesn't even exist in your system. And this has been proven to work for all herpes of any kind. It has been proven to be successful. So I even used to get cold sores from the sun or from stress. If I burnt my lip in the sun, I would get them. And ever since I've been taking the humic acid, I've had situations where I probably should have got a cold sore and I haven't had them. So
I used to get them all the time too when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I attribute it to, of course, drinking lots of structured water, whole plant-based diet, but the curcumin cayenne 5000.
Yeah, that did it for you.
Yeah, the humic fulvic. Also, I do daily cleansing tea every day. I mean, that should be in everybody's diet, daily cleansing tea. I mean, why wouldn't you look after your large intestine, which is the major part of your immune system? Yeah. That's something that you really need to look at. And go take a look at the Perfect Day Guide on our website, on the library. And also, fasting is amazing for that as well. Yes. So take a look at fasting for perfect health. And understand something, even the SAC calcium products, anything that's going to balance the pH and the tissues in the blood. And but what's going to balance you the most is your emotions, right? But what you don't know until you find out what the reactors are and the triggers are. So that's really good to know that. And the other thing is I'm going to tell you something right now. The genital herpes, right? We know that there is a belief stuck inside you somewhere that sex is dirty, okay? There could be sexual abuse there, okay? All right, so just know this, 50% of all males have been sexually abused. So understand, if we were to talk about how many females, I can't even mention that on air because you'd wonder how this planet even revolves like that. So let's just know that the men is a lot less than the women, and men are 1 out of every 2 males have been sexually abused. And understand something. A lot of people out there have been taught through some religious sanctions that sex is a dirty thing, you know? And I was talking to someone, and they caught their little girl, okay, 5 years old, playing doctor with another 5-year-old boy. And she called me because she didn't know how to react to this. And I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So, and for her, she thought that that was really dirty. She didn't know how to punish them. And I said, what, are you kidding me? It's called discovery.
Bodies.
It's, you know, so understand something. You need to start questioning all your beliefs, okay? You're not dirty, okay? And you're not broken, and you, okay? But you do run dysfunctional beliefs if you believe that. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Next one is from HoneyRosie01 on Instagram. This is live. What if you don't remember having any really traumatic physical or emotional trauma?
Well, you are, then I would say that you are the great pretender, and that you have buried it so deep. Okay, and understand something. One of the biggest emotional traumas that we have is neglect. So understand something, and you're hiding from it. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you start going back and you start looking at things, you're going to find certain areas that you went, wow, that's it right there. And you're going to go, but my God, it was nothing. It wasn't an issue. It was at the time. It was called the perfect storm. And then it got locked in. And understand something. That's what the subconscious does. You guys don't get this, but your subconscious is 90% of your brain. You're only in your conscious brain 2 to 5% a day. Your subconscious holds all prominent beliefs. Now you can say, well, I don't remember anything. Yeah, but then why do you have the herpes? Why do you have the cancer? Why do you have the depression? I mean, if we're, and you better, I want you to challenge me on this one now, right now. If we're 99.9999999 to affinity spirit, have you ever heard of a spirit getting sick or depressed or having herpes? Okay, so you can tell me that you don't remember anything, and my parents were glorious. Well, yeah, I'm sure they were, but guess what? It's called adulteration, and every parent screws up their children, and I haven't found any parent that hasn't yet, and that's because we are being ruled by a sector of the population. I mean, think about it. You don't even know how to love yourself yet. Tell me you totally love yourself, and then I'll tell you that you got this, girl. Okay? You don't even know what that is. You don't even know what self-love is. Less total self-love, less total unconditional love for everyone on the planet, even those that are manipulating us. That's where you got to get to. Because love is not the answer. Self-love is where you become that beam of light. We get all these beam of light walking around, and guess what? The whole matrix falls. So understand something. I don't remember. Well, do you think your subconscious wants you to remember? Your subconscious wants to protect your prominent beliefs, and it will lie, cry, and justify and take you off track. And you know what? How often does somebody ask you a question that's personal and you tell the exact truth? You little liar. Okay, but you're not a liar, but it's not you, because we've all been taken over by these dysfunctional beliefs. They rule us, school us, and they fool us.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like I can relate to that, because the one thing I will say, never compare your story to anybody else's, because what you've gone through is just as important as anything that anybody else has gone through. And I can say, like, for myself, when I first started working through things, I would be like, oh, what I went through was nothing compared to what all these other people are going through. I'm hearing all these stories. And I'm like, but it still affected my soul. It still affected my spirit. And it still affected how I live my life every single day, even if they were on a lesser scale. So you really have to dig into those little things, because it even could be little things like being bullied when you were in grade 6 that are still taking you back and holding you back in your life right now. And you don't even realize that one comment scared you into going and making a leap in this direction of your life. So it's really important to take a look at all the tiny little things, because those little things do build up and they can create a mountain of problems. So just start tracking, start doing the mind mapping and recall healing, because it's really amazing.
Yeah, you got to want to do it, and your mind will tell you that you don't have the time, you don't have the energy. It'll make you yawn, it'll make you tired, it'll make you itchy. You'll have to go have a whole bunch of bowel movements, which you never do, but it'll make you do it because it wants to keep you away from really getting to the issue. And the other thing is understand something. If you're the type of person that goes, oh my God, that makes me so angry, or I feel so sorry for them, oh boy, you have no idea what you're doing. You mind your own business. What do you mean? I shouldn't feel sorry for the world? Yeah, and guess what? Welcome to suffering for the rest of your life. You know, and when you get people that do this, oh, or oh my God, oh, stop it. Stop it. You need to protect your game. You need to protect the field that you live in. And every time you bring in a negative that starts to bring your vibration down, that feeds what? These subconscious beliefs. Oh, the ones that you don't have that are ruining your life.
Thank you for your question. Okay. Next one is from Neem Cumberdale. I have terrible scoliosis in my back. I do abs exercises and treadmill every day, but I can't fix it. I keep coughing all day. Is that from the back issue? Please help me, Dr. Wolfe.
Okay, first of all, you're doing all the wrong exercises. Mm-hmm. So when we teach you how to do the pelvic expander, when we teach you the squatting, when we teach you some other exercises we do, mm-hmm. and if the best thing you'll ever do if you've got scoliosis is to come and take our personal treatment and training, or have one of our trainers go there, and you might go, oh yeah, well here we go, here comes the pitch. Well, so what?
It works.
You want to spend $5,000 and then actually become the best practitioner, you and your husband, within 200 miles? Mm-hmm. And I can make that guarantee. And how would you like to get rid of the scoliosis, but then get rid of the knee problem, get rid of the ankle problem, and get rid of the problem that you have buried in your subconscious, okay? And understand something. Scoliosis will get worse as your mind gets twisted more, right? And the more that you have anxiety, did you ever notice that? The more junk that you eat, the more twisted your spine gets. So, you know, when we truly create balance on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. And when I say spiritual level, I'm not talking about religious level, so everybody just put that one over there, please. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about becoming spirited. You know, it's okay for the baby to be spirited, but God, for God's sakes, don't let me be it, you know? So understand something. Everything is balance. And as far as I'm concerned, if I was the king of everything, I would have everybody taking a personal treatment and training, every family. Because families don't know how to love themselves or each other. They don't know how to do body work. And meanwhile, your body's made out of joints, muscles, tissues, ligaments, tendons, and organs that get scar tissue in them. But nobody in the medical field, and also physiotherapy doesn't do it. Chiropractic is a great therapy, but it doesn't get rid of the scar tissue. Massage doesn't do it. Shiatsu doesn't do it. And meanwhile, Grandpa, you're stiff as a board. Meanwhile, every tumor, every fibroid, arthritis, and even from colitis, you'll have scar tissue in your colon. I mean, do I need to keep going? So the problem's not in the bone, it's in the tissue, but the issues in the tissue need to be taken apart, and that's called beef jerky, and that's what we do, and we can show you how to do it. Yeah. So that's the deal. You want to get rid of scoliosis, then untie those invisible bonds that are binding you.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you're asking for help. This is what's going to help you. We're not going to give you a couple products and Band-Aid therapies. The personalized treatment and training, whether you come here or somebody comes to you, that is what is going to get you better and keep you better. So,
what did she say was the exercise she uses?
Ab exercises and a treadmill. So
okay, so both of those are going to make the scoliosis worse.
Yeah. Because
you're totally coming into contraction. Well, and the problem is with somebody with scoliosis is the spinal area in that area is totally in contraction, over-contracted. Mm-hmm. Now, how are you going to open that up? How are you going to get the flow going? Why is there an energy block right there? So those are the things we need to look at.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. Next one is from Laura Weir on Facebook. Someone I know has ALS. Is there natural treatments for this, and can it be cured?
Well, we have a testimonial video showing that only after a few weeks. So here it is. What was it called? I can't remember. I think it was called A Wife's Love or something.
The video on YouTube?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll find the video.
We'll post
and
it.
Drake will put it up today. Drake's going to put that testimonial up on Facebook today and on Instagram as well. Okay? And yeah, I'm sure we have a testimonial site too on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But we'll put that up today. But here's the deal. So anyways, ALS, wife was going to take him to a home because he couldn't even lift his head up anymore, could he?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So anyways, and his breathing was going, and so they thought it was over. So then they started on the pro call with us, and now he is able to move his arms and his hands. And he's able to lift his head up. He's able to talk. His speech is back. So understand something. You are limited by your beliefs, and your beliefs have been created by the systems out there, okay? And those systems, okay, are contaminated and corrupted. You know, there was an actual study done where they took fleas. And, you know, fleas can jump 3 to 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they put the fleas in a glass jar for 10 hours. Approximately 10 hours. So for the rest of the flea's life, which is not that long, but long enough, how far could the flea jump?
No more than the
It was a glass jar that was 10 inches tall. 10 inches. Now, are you going to tell me that a flea has a brain? Only instinct. Now, something that just has instinct is harder to program than something with a brain that doesn't use it. Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Next question is from Angel Daniela. Dr. Wolfe, can you please recommend a juicer? My resource is done. Too much out there. I know you use one of the best. What's the brand and model? Thank you.
Well, I bought an Angel juicer, and now what I don't use it. Of course,
very slow.
Of course, it gives us more nutrients, but for the time and the effort, I'm not going to juice like that. Okay, first of all,
make it easy.
Everything about my life is about honoring myself. So when I look at something, I'm going to weigh it out, and I'm going to go, okay, all right? And did you hear what I said? It's about honoring myself first. Thank you very much. Okay. So the juicer that we bought is a what?
Breville.
It's a Breville. And so it's a high-powered Breville. So we can do in 10 minutes 3 quarts of carrot juice. Now, we have just probably lost about 5, maybe 6% more of the nutrients. But guess what? I'm not having somebody stand there for an hour and a half, 2 hours to do that same amount. Mm-hmm. And that is craziness.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's your game. Honor, respect, and take a look at how you want to run your life. Okay? Keep questioning. When somebody tells you to do this or do that, go, why? Why should I? Mm-hmm. Oh, you should buy a Norman Walker juicer. Yeah, that'd be great. So now we're going to grind it all up. Then we're going to press it. Oh my gosh.
So much work.
We bought one of those when my mother had cancer. And I will tell you something. The best thing we could have done was just make sure we made the juice easy for her and got it to her. And then, people just stop doing things that are too hard. Mm-hmm. You know what? If it's hard to get well, I'll just stay sick.
Yeah. I have an Omega Vert, and it's the same way that your Angel was, like the vertical one, and it spirals this way and then comes down. And it's not as slow as the Angel, and I really like it, but it's not as quick as the Breville. So just depending on what you're looking for. But it is, like the Omega and the Breville are both very easy to clean. The Breville has a larger screen. The Omega one that I have is a smaller screen. So cleaning the actual screen's really easy on that one. But yeah, those are my personal favorite ones that I've used. I used to have the Omega one that comes this way, and I didn't like that one. So if you go with the Omega, the Vert one is better. But the Breville one's like so quick and easy.
But just remember something. Where your focus is the best juicer. Because that's making the most nutritious juice. Where your focus is. So what are you focusing on right now? How beautiful you are? Are you focusing on your spirit? Are you focusing on that the energy levels that you have dictates the health you have, right? And then are you focusing on those things that come in and bring your energy levels down? So don't let anything into your field, even if it's family. Okay? If it brings you down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. Next one is from Paulina Santos. My daughter walks with her right foot in towards her left foot. She walks fine and doesn't bother her, but I notice, and others, people have said could be something to do with her hips being out of line. Your thoughts? Should I be concerned?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I'd be concerned. I think I would take action.
Yeah, I would just get some deep tissue work done.
That's what women do. They get concerned because a good mother is always concerned. No, take action. What does that action look like? Well, find someone that's going to go in there and get rid of the scar tissue. Because go to a chiropractor, he might be able to do an adjustment, but the first sign of inflammation, it's going to pull it right back into place out of place because that's the program.
And lots of the times, other therapists aren't going to really go into all the areas that they need to go into when working with something like that, because we need to come into the front and the hip flexor, coming up with the psoas and around the back and really working the whole SI joint, working the whole hip joint all the way around it so that it can come back into place. Whereas I know when I used to get hip treatments done just from regular massage when I played soccer or chiropractic, they would just be adjusting one spot and it would never get to this area that I needed it to get to. So it's really important that we're covering the entire joint so that it can come back into place properly.
Oh, and we've got a surprise for you. We're actually going to show how we do the whole routine. We're going to be doing, how many videos are we going to be doing? Like 30? Around 30?
More.
Okay, around 40 videos, and we're going to show what the medical system would do and how they would treat it and how we would treat it. And then we're going to actually show you the routine. We're not going to go through everything we do. We're going to talk about every step of the routine. And then we're going to let you go, wow, is this logical? Does this look like I'm taking my power back? Because guess what? You don't want to get treated, okay? Okay? You don't want to, because you're only good till the next treatment. You want to be empowered. You want to become the master. You want to become the master of that beautiful body of yours. And you'll know when you are the master, because then it will be a beautiful body.
Totally. Thank you so much. And the next one is from Paulina again. What are your thoughts on dried fruit as a snack? My kids love dried mangoes, no sugar on them. What do you think of a raw food diet all day long, or is cooked food still fine?
Well, I'm not keen on a raw food diet all the time, for one thing, okay? And the other thing is I'm not keen on giving kids dried fruit. I won't give my kids dried fruit. It's going to be fresh and raw. And it's not going to be dried because a good chance are it's not organic. Very good chance. And the other thing is I want to know where it came from. But there's no water in it. There's no enzymes in it. The fiber's gone as well.
Concentrated sugar.
And it's a concentrated sugar. Now, does it feed cancer cells? No. But does it whack their blood sugar out of place? Yes. So it's still going to cause them to have mood swings, okay?
All right. Better off eating fresh fruit. And then with the raw diet, you want some cooked foods in your diet. But when you're going by weight, you want 80% of the weight volume to be raw, 20% cooked. So that would be like your beans, your chickpeas, your lentils, or your quinoa. Things like that would be that 20% of the cooked portion of your meals.
And if you still eat animal protein, it'll go for the same, but just make sure you chew. And also, you know what? Find out if the farmer pet his animals or he disrespected them.
Yeah, very important. Because you don't want to be eating those emotions and that energy that went into
respect all life. Respect all life.
Yeah. And another thing with animal proteins, if you are eating animal proteins, I do recommend taking HCl and Digest Complete to make sure that you're breaking everything down properly, because you don't want protein particles getting trapped and rotting.
And also then, and really the daily cleansing tea, because you know what? You know, well, how much fiber's in meat?
Not much.
Okay.
Make sure if you're eating the meat, you're pairing it with a salad.
All right.
Get your greens in.
Yeah, you need that brush down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next one from Belinda. Hello, Dr. Wolfe. Looking forward to the Q&A. I'm getting ready to order some products and the belly button tool for the first time. My concern is that I met with my naturopathic doctor to go over my blood work. I was very surprised to find out that my iron levels are very high, and this is of concern. So I want to first make sure that I can use the product without raising my iron levels. Any ideas about this? Thank you.
Are you talking about the belly button? Well, the belly button, the belly button therapy kit, what it does is it releases those hormones and chemicals that brings everything into balance in the human body. So that's that, you know.
Not going to affect your iron levels at all.
Never. And you know what? When you trigger the belly button, you're triggering the greatest potential to come back into a parasympathetic state, which is a healing state, than anything else you could do. It is so powerful. Nothing else is more powerful in helping to balance hormones and to get you into that healing state. Mm-hmm. So anybody who hasn't seen it, you can check it out in The Perfect Day.
Yeah.
And you can also just know this, it's coming your way.
We're doing a video.
We're doing a video. So when you want, all you have to do is just go on YouTube, mm-hmm. and you'll be able to go in there and go belly button therapy. Okay. And it'll pop up and we'll show you how to do it.
We'll talk more about it and why you want to do it and showing you the routines that we do.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next one from Betty. Why am I continually going for anger management therapy?
Okay. So here's the deal. You have to start doing more loving things for yourself. We get angry because we feel that we're not appreciated, we're not respected, mm-hmm. okay, and that really makes us angry, okay, or we want the world to change, or we want something to change that's none of our business. And even when it comes to family members, you can't change them either, but you can change yourself and become the light, mm-hmm. okay. And the other thing is you'll continually go for anger management therapy as long as you keep on running the anger dysfunctional belief that you have that you don't know you're running. Okay? So take a look at your history, go back again, and really go way back when you were a child. And it probably happened before you were 7. But take a look at that, you know, and we don't want to manage our anger, okay? We want to erase it and replace it with self-love. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Big thing with anger, really focus on your breathing. That's so important.
Belly button therapy.
Yeah.
Anything that helps to kick in the vagus nerve.
Yeah. But focusing on your breath and don't react. Really process everything before you speak. That's so important. Don't speak out of anger ever.
And just remember this, okay? With every dysfunctional problem that we have, the more we do it and the more it controls us, the more it needs to be fed. Okay, so when you get a little puppy, you give it a little food. When the puppy grows bigger, what do you give it?
Bigger food.
Okay, so the longer that you run the program, mm-hmm. the more it needs to be fed. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to have to feed it more, and you're going to have to feed it. And what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that you have to get angrier, okay, until you totally burn out your nervous system. You know, this is the one I love. So, how is Uncle Jim and his anger program? Meanwhile, he's been like that all his life. Well, you know what? He's calming down now. He's getting better. Yeah, well, the guy's burnt out. The anger totally destroyed his energy, so he doesn't have enough energy anymore. But it's still contaminating his body. That's why he's full of cancer.
It's just boiling up in him.
Right. Okay. Food for thought.
Okay, thank you. Next one from Christine Bradley. How often would a post-menopause woman with previous hypothyroidism, thinning, gray hair, history of cold hands, feet, severe chills, damaged feet, hands when working previously in a chill warehouse for 15 years, now is a pet sitter. How often would she be advised to use the Avacen 100 microcirculation device to increase hormone thyroid regulation and promote hair growth and reverse graying, please?
I'll tell you, you do it a half an hour, 4 times a day, and it will blow you away. Okay? It will blow you away. You'll have no idea that this is going to happen. You'll see your hair start to get thicker. The hair will start to get darker. You'll start to see you'll be calmed down, but you'll have a lot more energy. You'll find out that your hormones start. It's all about microcirculation. I mean, your body, microcirculation is 76% of your circulation in your body. That means that there's only 24% that is not microcirculation, which is veins and arteries. And remember, it's the microcirculation. When it goes, that's when you get the disease, or you get the arthritis, or you get the Alzheimer's, or whatever it is. And if your veins and arteries are in trouble, well, you're really in trouble. So, and guess what? And Avacen increases circulation 100% more than anything else that's ever been done to this date. So, and it will increase the circulation in people by 66%.
Honestly,
take it away, Abby.
It's so easy. You literally put a little bag on your hand, and you put your hand in the machine, and you just sit there and relax, and it does it all for you.
We're going to be showing this
Best thing
because,
ever.
yeah.
I need to do it today.
We're going to be showing this. I don't go to bed without it.
Yeah.
And in the morning, when I'm doing my meditation, contemplation, quiet time, whatever you want to call it, I'll do it. I only do it twice a day, and on weekends I'll do it more if I'm reading or writing or doing something. But the reality is this, it truly is a beautiful thing. And you'll start to see you'll have to cut your toenails and your fingernails a lot more often. What does that tell you? Proof in the pudding. So check it out. You know, it's a well worthwhile investment. And just know that if you buy something from us and you don't like it, just return it.
Has the show already gone up for the Avacen?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
If you go to Light and Color Therapy Guide in the library or Energy Medicine Guide, they both have the actual interview with the inventor on the Avacen. Okay, so we're actually going to be, when we show, we have videos that we've done, and we're doing a lot of them, and we show what happens when somebody comes to the Doc of Detox clinic, and we show you what we do. And what we do when someone comes in is we do the Avacen,
Pre-care, yes. We
the
do
Bioptron.
with the pelvic expander stretch.
Well, first of all, what we do is we use the belly button therapy on them. That's the first thing we do.
And then we do the pelvic expander stretch. And when we're doing the stretch, so you have one leg up and then the other leg is down, so we can really open up the pelvis. We have the one hand in the Avacen and then the Bioptron light on the face. And we do that for about 10-15 minutes before we switch to the other leg. And when we switch the legs, we don't use the Avacen again, but we still keep the Bioptron on. And you can either put that on the abdomen at that point, or you can keep it on the face. Either area is great. And then you bring your hands all the way back like this behind your head, so that way you're getting a full body stretch.
So what we've done in a half an hour, and I will come up against anybody with any type of stretching exercise, yoga,
It's like
exercise,
incredible.
and I mean anywhere, and they can't even come 20% of what we just did in opening up stretch, opening up the fibers, releasing proper hormones. I mean, by the time we get people on the mat half an hour later, they are so ready, and we can go in there, okay, because we've brought their vibration, their energy, their field up to a point of letting go. And we've brought their hormones and chemicals to a place that we're not going to go in and working on someone who's conflicted and constricted. Okay? And then what we do is we really try to promote people to start creating this in their own home. Bring health home. So we really try to get them to bring this whole routine home, right? And then we try to get them to learn how to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical on themselves and their families.
Yeah.
So that's the reality,
That's the
that's
goal.
why we're doing all these videos. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you want to continually get treated, expect to get mistreated, and it's not because therapists are bad. You're mistreating yourself. You need to be the master of that which you call your vehicle. Okay, you need to be in the driver's seat.
Thank you so much for your question. Next one is from Joe. I have a Kangen water system. Will that suffice for structured water?
Okay. I just came from a course. That's why my voice is a little raspy. And we just finished it yesterday, and then I drove home. So, and I'll tell you, I don't know why, but people get really personal about their Kangen. There was somebody, and I said, well, that's not structured water. Okay, and you know what? If you love your Kangen, because guess what? Water is really important. But for me, I would never give up my structured water unit, and it's not a machine. It never wears out, never breaks down, and I would give up a micro water machine, which is a Kangen machine. And a lot of people say it's the best in the world, which it is not. There's other ones that are better. So it's just that it's a multi-level marketing, and everybody rah-rahs. And I'm not putting it down because it's still a great water device, but it's not structured water. Okay? It is electron charged microclustered water. Okay? And is it good for you? It's great for you. Is it lighter when you drink it? Yes. But it's still not structured water.
And the big thing with the difference between the microcluster and structured water is how we absorb it. So structured water is like pre-digested water. So it is already broken down into basically a choo-choo chain structure to go directly into the aquaporin channel of every cell, which is amazing. But when it's a microcluster, we have to break that down. So say there's like 3,000 particles per molecule. We have to break that down and use our energy to do so. So with the structured water, we're not having to do that.
No energy needed. And guess what? You ready for this? Your spinal fluid is structured. Your blood is structured. Your intercellular fluid is structured. Your extracellular fluid is structured. All the fluid in your brain is structured. Structured water is able to bring on new memory, new programs. So we need to structure water to get the old programs out. Even if you filtered it and filtered it and filtered it, the memory is still there, the frequencies of who drank it, the drugs that were in it, the chemicals that were in it. End of story. It's called fourth phase water. Watch the lecture I did with Dr. Pollock and go to the Structure Water Guide in the library and watch the Dr. Pollock interview I did. It's all based on science, okay?
And honestly, one other thing that's really important to be aware of is the alkalinity of your water, because you don't want your water to be alkaline. And that's the biggest thing. You want your water to be 7.2 to 7.4 pH.
Yeah.
That's the pH that your body actually needs. If it's higher than that, you're going to offset your stomach acids, and it's going to cause more digestive disorders and problems in the end if you're constantly drinking alkaline water. Once in a while, drinking like a 9 pH just to alkaline your body after like a crazy weekend or something, then a couple of glasses of that may be okay, but I would never be drinking it on a regular basis. Either would I,
because it's not nature doesn't do that.
No.
And the reality is okay, so these people that sell these units, and they're taught this, is that, it's all about alkalinity, high pH. It's not. It's about structuring first and foremost. And if you want a higher alkalinity, fine. But I was talking to a therapist, and I said, well, it's really not good for you. If you've got cancer and you want to do 9.5, you really want to hit it with the alkalinity. There's justification there. Mm-hmm. And she goes, well, you're right, but you're wrong. And I go, okay, I'm good with that. So she says, well, I started drinking the 9.5 and it was bothering me, but I gradually worked my way into it and now I can handle it. Yeah, but it's still not what you should be doing. Mm-hmm. Yes, your tissues, your blood, they all have a pH. Mm-hmm. Alkalinity is the key. But the most important thing is that it's like, yeah, the sun is good for you, but you got cold sores because you burnt yourself.
Because I was out for 8 hours.
Okay, so what we're trying to see here is let's breathe and let's find that happy spot, okay? All right. And I don't know if you know it or not, but how many people overdo things?
Oh, yeah.
How many people want to be in great shape and they go to the gym and they're always injured?
Yeah.
And guess what? Do people who go to the gym every day live longer than people who don't exercise, but they're at peace and they do breathing techniques? No, they don't. Okay, are they in better shape? No, maybe cardiovascular wise or something. I'm not telling you not to go to the gym. I'm just trying to tell you that too much of anything.
Don't be extreme.
Okay.
Be loving.
Oh, except for one thing. Be extreme with self-love. because spirit is everything. And if you don't get into self-love, you're not getting into your spirit. And I just need everybody to get this. I'm not some whack job that just woke up here. I know that self-love is what feeds the spirit. And if you've got self-hate because you only got one or the other, then you're dishonoring your spirit. End of story. Okay.
Thank you so much for your question. Next one is from Gord. Will the bioptron help to heal a lesion, tumor in the eye, possible corneal melanoma?
Again, yes, it could, but it's not the only answer. Okay? We take a whole body approach. And when somebody's like this, we would say, please call, get a consultation. Let's walk through and create that perfect day blueprint. And then you can have access to us each and every day if you want. And we'll keep going, keep tweaking, keep moving.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much. Next one from Sharon. I love this morning one a day. I'm trying to not let people disrespect me, but I'm still disrespecting myself in certain ways. Thank you for the reminder. We talked about this at the very beginning a little bit of the show.
Yeah, and just know this, Sharon. I know you're working on it. And the thing is that your answer was in, I'm trying to not let people. Well, there's no trying. And the reality is this. But I still disrespect myself. Understand, we get treated by everybody the way we treat ourselves, right? You know, New York's a big place, a lot of people walking down the street. Why does one person get mugged and the other one doesn't?
Beliefs.
One is a victim. Okay.
Okay. Next one, Jesse. Why is it that I keep repeating the same problem in my relationships?
Again, we talked about that. And what it is when you get the reactors, there's certain things that set you off, Jesse. When those reactors hit, put your hand on your heart, take 3 deep breaths, well, 1 deep breath, 6 seconds long, hold it for 2 seconds, then release it for 7 seconds, and do that breath 3 times. And I guarantee you, your relationships are going to get better just from that. Because what happens is something is said, and what it is, okay, so something is said, and this something that is said, you're not justified for what you do. But I'm hungry. The monster inside of you, okay, which is people in relationships don't respect me, and they're attacking me all the time, and I do so much for them. So your mind your mind's bent, okay? And you actually take it wrong because it's, guess what? I'm hungry. So it doesn't matter, right or wrong, you reactor. It's time. I need to be fed. On a lighter level, it's, okay, so let's say Abby and I are a couple. We're watching TV and it's about 8:45 and we have this routine. Honey, I'm kind of feeling snacky. What about you?
I could go for some potato chips.
Yeah, how about some ice cream? Or because we get into a routine that the little yeast that became fungus now needs to be fed. And guess what? Does a dog or a cat have a watch? No, but they have instinct. And they know without telling time when it's time. Mm-hmm. So every night, hey, how about a glass of wine, honey?
Yeah, sounds good. How about a bottle?
Yeah, how about a bottle, baby? So, we're gonna feed those little fermented suckers, right? Okay, all right.
All right. Next one.
1 sec.
I don't have it. Oh.
One second, everybody.
Get Instagram back up.
All right.
We're now live. All right. So next question. What is the nutrient profile of Zija moringa? So this was a call-in question that we had. So I have the notes of everything here. Oh, somebody put in questions after my notes. Oh, somebody deleted oh no, there they are. Okay. So the nutrient profile of moringa. So it has 17 times the calcium of milk, 15 times the potassium of bananas, 10 times the vitamin A of carrots, 9 times the protein of yogurt, 4 times the chlorophyll of wheatgrass, 25 times the iron of spinach, 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatories, has omega-369, 20 amino acids, and over 90 plus natural nutrients for a healthy body.
So that's why we use it.
So that's the Zija moringa, and it comes in the Super Mix, Smart Mix, and the plant protein.
And the Smart Mix is stevia. The Super Mix is sugarcane. And that's what I'm having right now is the core plant protein with strawberries. Best strawberry shake you've ever taken. And they asked, how can they get it? Well, you can call us and then one of our staff will actually get you signed up and you can buy it direct and it's a lot cheaper that way.
Yeah, you get it for wholesale pricing if you sign up. So
yeah.
It's honestly so good and it tastes really good too. The Super Mix is kind of like a fruit punch. A Super Mix and the Smart Mix, it's like fruity. And then the chocolate protein and the vanilla protein are both amazing.
Yeah, and you can call the 800 number and extension 1.
Yeah. Next question from Steve. Can you please advise what the difference of taking black gold and humic acid are, or taking the liquid, which one is more reaches the benefits? So black gold is the powder version. So it is a more gentle version. And then the humic acid concentrate is concentrated, so it is more potent. They're both going to do, well, I don't know, reaches the benefits. They're both reaching the benefits of the product. Of course, you're going to get more from concentration.
Yeah, but the black gold is more for intestinal.
I was going to say, because of the actual particles of it, it's like a dirt that it actually gets into your gut and it picks up pathogens and really helps rebalance and
it picks them up and locks them down, but also good bacteria jump right on top of the particles, feeds off of the particles, and creates a stronger immune system from the particles.
Yeah. So they both work really well, and I like to use them both. Like I do black gold in my smoothies, and in coffee, and then I usually do the Tummy Love, which is a blend of the humic and the fulvic concentrates, and I'm doing that one 3 times a day. And then humic acid concentrate, the liquid, I usually will actually add it to my cooking. Like I don't add the black gold to my cooking because of the grittiness. I like to use the concentrate so that it's not adding any texture to my food. That's just how I personally use them all.
Oh, and before we go to the next question, just so everybody knows, if you can't make it to Anaheim, I will be lecturing on October the 11th. It's on a Friday, and I'll be lecturing at what time is it?
3:45.
3:45 Pacific Standard Time, and it's called The Perfect Day. It'll be a 45-minute lecture, and if you like that, then you'll want to stay tuned because I'll be going in greater depth about that about a few days after. We haven't booked that yet, and but maybe you'll want to check that out.
Definitely. Next one from Rajmi. Hello, Dr. Wolfe. I have a cavity and have been told that the tooth is infected. Is there any way I could avoid a root canal? I was sent your site by someone who said Dentagen could help. So cavity and tooth infected, avoiding a root canal.
Well, the tooth infected, we know we can get rid of that. Okay? And the cavity, I'm not going to make any guarantees on that.
Yeah, it's a harder one
and
to
the other thing
fill.
is avoid a root canal. You avoid a root canal with your life because a root canal can take your life down. So understand that. They have not created a healthy root canal. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a healthy root canal. Yeah. So avoid, I would, at all costs, avoid it. So if you have to have the tooth pulled, but I would first go this way. I would do healthy mouth, oil pulling.
Yeah, I would be doing silver with tea tree oil, mixing them together and using that as a mouth rinse multiple times a day.
And I would take the Dentagen
yes.
4 times a day every 4 hours. Really get in there and go for at least 3 months like that.
Make sure you're flossing. Even getting a water pick can be really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, the oil pulling. I had one other. Oh, for toothpaste.
Healthy mouth essential oil.
For toothpaste, I honestly highly recommend. It's called Avacen, and it is amazing. It turned around my health of my gums with the Dentagen and doing the other stuff that I said. But honestly,
Avacen and Dentagen.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go. But honestly, it is a really amazing toothpaste. Next up is from Marilyn. I have a skin pre-cancer on my cheekbone that doesn't seem to want to heal completely. I'm detoxing from heavy metals, lead, mercury, and copper, and think the toxins keep it irritated. I tried dry brushing it gently, and it bled a teeny bit. I've tried structured water, Bright Eyes, and Beyond Beauty, and glutathione cream. Any ideas? Thanks. I've only had the structured water for 1 week, the Bright Eyes about a month, Beyond Beauty about a week or 2. Should I just keep going with these and give it some time? Thanks.
Okay, just know this, that the skin you're in reflects the health of your large intestine, but having the problem on your chin is related to your pelvis.
Oh, it's cheek.
Oh, cheek, she said.
Cheekbone.
Oh, cheek. Okay.
Cheekbone.
Okay, all right. Cheekbone.
So depending where it is on the cheek, because this is lungs.
Yeah.
Right in here. So you could be detoxing, had like the metals from the lungs right now, and it could be coming out of the cheek. But I would be doing on the actual mark, I would be mixing the Bright Eyes with the black gold and a tiny, like the tiniest dab of DMSO.
Yeah, put a little, it's like it could sit on the end of a pin.
Yeah.
And you put the DMSO on, and then you take
the Fulvic or the Bright Eyes, and you can mix it with the black gold, and then just put it on the spot. And it's a little salve. 1
or 2 drops of frankincense.
Yes.
Or True Essence. It's
same
less expensive,
vibration.
but has the same type of vibration. And then put that on, and then put a Band-Aid over it. Okay? All right. And then do that during the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And throughout the day, just even a dab of the frankincense. Just a little dab of frankincense throughout the day.
I'd like you to do this, and I'd really like to hear from you, but what I'd like you to do too, if I had it, I'm just saying if I had it, okay, I would be doing this. Right on the spot.
The stem cells.
Yeah, for about 20 minutes, right on the spot. That's what I'd be doing. Mm-hmm. Stimulating the stem cells right in that area. Activating the energy. And that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, get the white blood cells there, everything to just go heal it.
Yeah, very powerful. So what we just told you should turn that around. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Call us and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, and do call us and let us know. And let us know if you need more instruction. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what we're here for. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You got this. Okay.
Next one from Tanya. I'd like to purchase the product Merigen. I have autoimmune. The doctors have called it many things, but the latest name for it is connective tissue disease, and all the medications I've been given has made my condition worse. I've gone from 129 kgs to 94 kgs and have lost a lot of muscle. I need help and I need it fast.
Well, okay. So first of all, connective tissue disease just means that you're so inflamed in your tissues that your tissues are basically, how do I say this? I wouldn't call them, they're so inflamed that they're rotting. Okay? So that's what happens. The tissue's actually rotting. You can change that around. I'd be looking at getting a perfect day with Abby or Sarah. I truly would. I would not mess around with this. Okay? And understand something. Autoimmune disease means attacking the self. So you're attacking yourself on an emotional and physical level. That's it, girl. You are. And if you want to learn how to turn that around, then you need to get a perfect day consult. $125? Come on. Okay? And if you're not satisfied with the consult, we'll give you your money back. How's that? All right? So that's the deal. So then if somebody says, well, I'll think about it. Well, then we know that they're running beliefs of low self-esteem, low self-love, right? Because I probably would have had to say like $4.92. I don't know. Because everything is about your beliefs. That's all it is. I mean, we're limited by our beliefs. And you're limited by your healing because of your beliefs. And you notice how you're feeling terrorized right now? And, I just can't, right? And that's because you keep on going places where they don't have answers and you're only getting worse. So what would that tell you? Let me see. There's a clue here. Should we keep on going back to these places? Maybe there's a clue here. Okay. So I'm not telling you not to go back to those, whoever you go to. But the thing is, if you're going somewhere and it's not working and you're tiltingly going, how does, that's just like the person today said, none of my relationships work. Well, yeah, that's because the belief systems you're running are undermining them. So why are you still going to someone who isn't helping you? Okay, and guess what? Go to people who will help you take your power back, and do not go to a practitioner because the healer matters. You've got to make sure that practitioner is well balanced, okay? Because you're getting into their field. You're getting into their game. When you go to a practitioner, you're coming into their game. All right, so you better make sure you like their game. Okay.
Yeah. Don't go to somebody that's going to give you something that you're not going to want.
Well, don't go to somebody that's going to game you.
Yeah, or game you. And a big thing with this, like with connective tissue disease, like there can be a lot of things affecting this. Like it could even be a parasitical invader. It could be so many different things that they're not looking. Well, it is, but
but you didn't have the invader probably until after the disease. I mean, if you went traveling, you could have gotten a parasite, but that means that your emotional vibration was so low. It said, "Honey, I'm home. Come on, move in."
Yeah, because I know a friend of mine had that, and he had pinworms pretty bad from childhood trauma that affected his.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You are going to attract onto you the vibration and the level that you respect and honor and love yourself. That's it. Are you a bad person? Absolutely. Kidding.
Just kidding.
No.
Never.
You are not a bad person. Understand something. We come here and we set ourselves up, okay, for these so-called challenges, right? But you got to start playing your game. Make it your game.
And she was asking about the Merigen for her condition, and it's definitely going to be amazing for that. But I would recommend a consultation.
And I do curcumin cayenne. I get on the structured water.
Fulvic acid, get rid of some of that lactic acid buildup, pull out lots of the pathogens from the cells. I would be doing ATP plus.
Depending on her weight.
Recovery in the
I would definitely look at intermittent fasting, then getting into 1 day, and then definitely trying to do a 3 or 6 day, maybe 2 or 3 times. And guess what?
Yeah.
You got this.
Totally. Okay. Thank you so much. Next is from Kayla. What do you recommend, if anything, for hair thinning and loss in men?
Avacen.
Yeah.
Padding and clapping.
Turning Wi-Fi off at night.
Which we're gonna be showing you in our videos. Okay, so if you want to learn padding and clapping.
Yeah. No Wi-Fi on at night. Nothing plugged in by your head of your bed when you're sleeping. Stimulating
hair
the
restore.
Scalp. Yeah, hair restore. Make sure you're massaging your scalp, getting a dry skin brush, and.
But let's be honest, the Avacen, even though it's a higher expense, it's got all the proof. It's got all the scientific data behind it for growing the hair back and making it black or brown, whatever the color it used to have. So you know Nizarine. Nizarine is in India right now. She bought an Avacen, took it over there to help her father with Alzheimer's. I won't go into the whole details, but she's just elated by it. I talked to her this morning at about 6 o'clock in the morning. She called me from India, and her father's hair, is going black.
Wow.
Yeah, gray, and it's starting to go black. So just know this. It's all about microcirculation. And you can also look at another thing. You might want to call me. You can take what's called Okay, we have what's called structured moringa oil, and then you can mix cayenne in it, a little bit of cayenne, put a few drops of the hair restore, and then you can massage that into the scalp. I would do the patting and the clapping first, okay, and then I would put this on, and then I would let that sit, and I would be doing Avacen, and then, hey, all right, you know, hair
Have a
down to there.
full head of hair. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, next is from Michelle, and she just says, "Hi guys from Florida." Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for saying it.
Next is from Judy Christian. "I'm so excited. Just went to have x-rays to confirm what I suspected. Since you did the heart deep tissue, I no longer have a paralyzed diaphragm half. I had it for years and no idea how it happened. Now it's completely functioning. Thank you, my friend. Doc of Detox. Love you, Darrell."
Okay, so you want to talk about
So
somebody
exciting.
that's totally beautiful. That's this lady. Her name is Judy Christian, and she practices out of
Texas.
Texas.
Outside of San Antonio.
I'm trying to remember the
I
name.
can't remember.
Anyways, outside of San Antonio, that's correct.
Yeah.
And if you want to look her up, and just give us a call, and we'll give you her phone number.
Or Judy, sound off in the comments so people know you're
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Do it, Judy, if you're there, and if you're not, then come on later if you do watch this.
Yeah.
And just put your information if you'd like.
Yeah.
And just look for that.
Or call us and we'll give it to you.
Yeah, and also understand something. If you take a look at everyone, you'll find this in 9 out of 10 cases, that even though people are, they use the right arm, right hand, you'll find that over top of the heart area, it can be anywhere from a 1/4 inch to 1 inch to 2 inches higher, especially with men. And that is all that protection. You know why? Because you're taught that you're supposed to get your love from mommy and daddy, your wife, your husband, your children, the dog, the cat. Oh, the government will love you. Everybody loves you. All those systems, corporations, they all love you. And understand your heart gets hurt so much because the heart gets damaged more than any other organ in the human body. And the heart looks like a heart, so it represents love. And your heart actually, it details the history of your emotional life. And you can always tell someone's heart and all the damage they have by their emotional history. Okay, so the heart will start to build up and enlarge, or it will build tissue around it, muscle around it, scar tissue, calcium, crystallization around it, and it will feel like you have a fist gripping around you after a while. And that's what happens. So what we do is we go in and we do what's called a heart release. And you want to see
Incredible.
something? Yeah, we're not just talking about physical problems. We're not just talking about staving off stroke, heart attack, angina, all this other stuff. We're talking about emotional releases.
The freedom you feel after it is, it's incredible. I mean, it can be emotional, of course, because you're dealing with the most emotional center in your body, but it's absolutely incredible. I remember first time I had it done, which was like five years ago probably. Mm-hmm. It was like the tiniest touch, and I just started bawling because it was just past trauma. That's what it was.
I want everybody to understand this. I promise you we'll have the most powerful therapies, and that you can learn every one that we have. And we will give you every one that we have. And you need to take your power back. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next question from Laura. Where do you get this Avacen toothpaste? Online. You can just Google Avacen. Revitin, I believe. Yes. And they sell it in like different packs. And there's only the one flavor. It tastes like orange Tic Tacs, but I love it. If you like minty, you could always just add some like peppermint or healthy mouth essential oil to it, and then you get the minty flavor. Next question from Sherry. What do you do about constipation after surgery?
Well, first of all, after surgery, if it's been 6 to 8 weeks, you better get Wolfe Non-Surgical. You better find a certified Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, girl, because you're going to live with that scar tissue forever unless we lovingly go in there and take it apart. And the other thing is you got to do the daily cleansing tea, curcumin, cayenne, and you better make sure you're on a whole plant-based diet, and you're doing the belly button therapy along with the tummy love. There it is.
Yeah, and with constipation after surgery, it definitely could have been because of drugs that they gave you for the surgery. So
yeah, well, what do drugs do?
Well, they bring down your frequency.
First of all, Abby, are drugs good for you?
No.
Well, why are you taking them?
Yeah.
Okay, so that, if you're in a life-threatening situation, I understand. If you're not in a life-threatening situation, I don't understand. Okay, so we get addicted to drugs because we get addicted to these dysfunctional programs. And it's all about numbing out our... See, we get to the point that we just don't think we think we're dirty. We think, oh my God, I wouldn't want to look inside and find out what's in there. And once you do go in there, and even when I work with people, they'll like struggle. No, I won't let you in. I'm not going to let you see this. I'm not gonna... And then all of a sudden they see it and they go, oh my God, you're right. I haven't thought about that for 50 years. But geez, it did. I remember the day now. I said, see, you couldn't remember it before. Yeah, but I remember the day that it really took me down. But then I've never thought about it then. That's right.
Yeah. It's crazy how it really happens, right? All right. Next up from Honey Rosie 01. What if you don't remember having any real traumatic... Oh, we already read that one. Okay. Next up from Belinda.
See, she forgot already. Yeah. Now she's coming back with another trauma. I'm kidding.
Belinda says, hello from Flagstaff, Arizona. What do you two think about PRP injection therapy? I've had PRP facials done, and I love them. PRP is liquid light. So it is your life force from your blood that they take your blood, put it in a centrifugal machine, separate the plasma, and so it's this yellow liquid, and it's literally light from your blood that they inject into different areas of the body. You can do facials, you can do it with microneedling on your scalp for hair growth, things like that. And personally, I love it. I think it's amazing. I've only done it for beauty purposes. I haven't heard that much success for injuries. I've heard it helps, but temporary. For like knee injuries, people will get injections of PRP to help increase vitality, but it's not getting rid of the scar tissue. It's just increasing the energy in the area for a moment. But
sometimes, it's better that than drugs.
Totally.
If you want relief.
I would be doing that over a cortisone shot.
Yeah, if you ever really want to get rid of it, then just come and get the Wolfe deep tissue.
Yeah.
And then learn it.
Yeah, right. And even for the beauty purposes, like the PRP facial is amazing, but nothing outdoes the facelifts.
Nothing does. No.
It's amazing. All right, next one up. Alice, hi. I am a big fan of your products and show. A good friend of mine had a chronic back pain and nerve pain at his neck a year ago. He has gone for physio for a year, but doesn't work. Also, he is taking Lipitor to control his cholesterol and causes muscle weakness and aggravates his fatigue. What's your advice?
My advice is that he should have a consultation. All right? I mean, we can tell you a whole bunch of things here.
Yeah.
What were his symptoms again?
So he has back pain, nerve pain, and
okay, well, back pain, we know that, in the back of your back and your low back, you've got 2 tuberosities. We know that that's scar tissue all around there, so there's no movement. We know that it's caused because of his large intestine. I'm guaranteeing it. And he's reabsorbed so much waste, okay? And emotionally, he's feeling like the world's on his shoulders, so it's breaking his back. Okay, what else?
Nerve pain.
Nerve pain, well, as soon as you get
in the neck.
Scar tissue, in the neck?
Yeah.
Well, it could be reflex from the lower back, or if there's nerve pain in the neck, then he's always what? What is he? Always in panic mode.
Yeah.
He's always in fight-flight response.
Also,
and that's how you get the pain.
Also, if your occiput is jammed with scar tissue.
That's C1 and C2. They're supposed to move.
Yeah.
And with everyone pretty well, it's frozen. And when you do that, you lose 30% of your circulation.
And if you get that, your vagus nerve is frozen.
Then your vagus nerve is frozen, correct.
And that controls everything, essentially.
Yeah. We have so many techniques that will help to open up the occiput. But you got to go in there and you've got to get rid of the scar tissue. Listen, put your hands in the back of your head, Okay? Now you feel those 2 bumps that you have come up your neck, and then right there where those 2 bumps are on either side of your head, right here. We call these the upper eyes. Now they're not bumps on me. I mean, if I go harder, I can feel the top of the occiput on those 2 edges but there's no feel. Is there any bump there?
No, just the ledge that's supposed to be there.
No. Now, if you go and you feel them, you're going to feel, oh, that hurts, or it's thick, or it feels like there's actually a bump there. Well, that's the intensity that you're living your life. And that's the scar tissue crystallization, calcification, and it freezes this whole area up, which is then, that's really great for your brainstem, isn't it? Because you're closing things down in here.
Yeah. And that's really not good because we want that spinal fluid to travel. We want that spinal fluid to come from our sacrum, up our spine, and get into the brain because that's where the magic happens.
Your spinal fluid carries more light than anything else in your body, and it carries information. That's what's in the light. You're a light energy being.
And that's,
honor your spirit.
And that's why it's so important to be eating the whole plant-based foods and following that diet and drinking the structured water because those are all
whole plant-based
information foods. Those are programming your DNA with the programs that they need to function properly.
Yeah.
So
your
important.
DNA give off light, but you've got to take the light in. And structured water and whole plant-based foods have more light than any other food that we know of. Well, as much structured water has more light than any other water. Whole plant-based, organic, fresh, more light.
Yeah. All right. And what's your advice? Lipitor, muscle weakness, and aggravates his fatigue.
Well, of course, understand something. All drugs numb you down, and they disconnect the body with the brain. Okay, and what we're doing is we're saying, we can't help you, but we can help you not feel anymore. Oh, so how's your sex drive, dude? Okay, so how much energy do you have for the hugs you're giving your wife and your children? Okay, I guarantee that you're numbed out. Okay, so that's what happens. Understand, drugs are drugs. So you know what? Everything is frequency. All right? You want to bring in a low vibrational frequency, it's going to make you low vibrational. So your healing's not going to happen, but your feeling is not going to happen either. And if you're ready to numb out, you can do that.
Thank you so much for your question. Next is from Beth Michael. How hard and deep can you work on a torn rotator cuff without doing more damage? How often should it be worked on?
Okay, first of all.
Depends when the injury was.
Well, yeah, but it depends on. Life is painful. Okay, that person, you can hardly even touch them. I've got fibromyalgia everywhere. Okay, everything is a belief. Okay, next thing is we're going to go in there and we're going to take it apart, right? Depending on a person's personality creates their reality. Okay, oil rigger, 6'4". Whoa! I'm going to have to go in there pretty deep, aren't I, to take that apart, because he's retore that so many times that it's going to be like beef jerky. Housewife, or not housewife, secretary, and she hasn't had a lot of the hard work. Okay, well then we're going to go in there really gentle, and it's going to come apart easier. Okay, now, but that same secretary, we could have two of them with rotator cuff problems. One is always in fight or flight, which means that creating adrenaline, cortisol, and histamine in the body, and that makes the tissues glicky, sticky, and they stick together tight. Other one, okay, goes to yoga and is connected to her breath. That shoulder with the yoga secretary connected to her breath, connected to her breathing, and eats more of a whole plant-based diet, it's going to fall apart. And it's going to stay apart a lot easier, where miss fight flight is going to contract that thing. And so the deeper the program is in creating an acidic situation, fight-flight situation, contractual situation, is going to need more work.
Definitely. And we do see that all the time. And even like if I were to get deep tissue, you can go to town on me all day. Like I can breathe through it. I can get through it.
Yeah, because...
And then there's other people who, same physiological makeup as me, has a different complete programming, can't handle it. at all in the same way.
Is pain your friend?
Pain
or
is
is
my
pain
friend.
your enemy?
Yeah.
So pain is her friend, and she knows it's her GPS, and she's going to breathe through this to let go. Because the more pain she's experiencing, she's going to let go, and she might have an emotional release, or she may just breathe it out. Because every disease you have is suppressed emotion and suppressed pain that you're not willing to look at. So whatever you're not willing to look at still needs to get fed, so it still needs to grow, so it's just going to get bigger. And if you believe life is painful and that pain is not your friend, then you will always be dealing with it because you're not dealing with it. Okay.
Thank you so much. Next one is from Michelle. Thoughts on crystals healing, best to wear as necklace. Thank you. I love crystals. I'm wearing a tourmaline crystal right now. This is to protect from negative energies. You can wear different crystals for different things.
But we have the ultimate crystal.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to get this. Actually,
Yeah,
I
we
haven't
have them,
bought it yet.
and we should have brought them up and showed you today.
So exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, it's called the Bodyguard, and it's through radionics, and it will create a 4-foot around you barrier, and it will create a 4-foot barrier. Okay, so it's going to hold your light energy. It's going to hold your field. And we also have one for the house.
Yeah.
And we will have those up online. As soon as they're up online, we'll be talking about them. We're only selling them in-house right now, and we've only been doing that for a while. We should have had them up online a long time ago. But the reality is we're kind of busy.
Yeah. Kinda. Maybe like 1 or 2 projects on the go.
Anyways, just remember that. Remember,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah. And yeah.
And they're gorgeous.
And it's a quartz crystal. It looks like
They're
blown
beautiful.
glass, but it's actually crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. And crystals are great for healing if you want crystals in your house or if you want to wear them. They're amazing, but that is definitely the best one that you're going to get.
And you can have somebody actually test this, and it's going to test that it's blocking even 5G. Yeah. It's blocking the Wi-Fi. But I would still turn the Wi-Fi off at night.
Totally.
Okay? You know what? Honor, respect. Honor, respect, right? Respect all life. And first and foremost, respect yours. Because if you're not respecting yours, then you actually don't respect anybody else's.
Yeah, because even like, I think of it like if you're wearing that pendant and it's protecting you, but your energy field and everything's still having that force and that fight to try to fight it off. Why even have that fight?
Remove the reactors.
Exactly.
Okay? All right.
Next question is from...
How are we doing?
This one, Christine Bradley. We're at 31.
And how many do we have?
Okay, let me just scroll here. Looks like we got 40.
Okay.
I don't know if some of these are comments, though. I didn't look at that yet.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully, I think we can get through them all.
Hopefully they're all comments.
Okay. Okay, so hi, Abby and Dr. Wolfe. I am not at home. We'll watch the recording. I did ask a question in case you didn't catch it. Here it is again. We already did answer it. Thank you so much, Christine. So you can definitely find it earlier on in this episode. We did get to that. Next is from Julie. Hello, can a family of 5 use the same Avacen? Thank you.
Yes.
Also, how long does this Avacen typically last with 5 people using it?
Oh, well, it should last you for years and years.
Forever.
Forever, yeah.
And
they're well made. They really are well made.
And it comes with like this plastic glove that you put your hand in, so you would just all need your own, or they could share. It doesn't really matter. But
yeah, and make sure that you, and right now we're able to give $500 off, so.
Perfect.
Okay.
So is that online or if they call in?
I think it's on. We just put it online too. We built it into it.
Okay.
But feel free to call us with any questions on the Avacen before you purchase. Okay, and we'll go through it with you. All right. But then you can go to the library and go to Light and Color Guide and watch the interview with the inventor.
All right. Thank you so much. Next is from Lori Parker. Dr. Bill Downs says Kangen water will not allow the oral minerals to have absorption.
I didn't know that, but like I said,
well, they would need a
please don't get me wrong about this, please. And if you have Kangen water and it makes you feel beautiful and healthy, that's great. It's just that, you know what, we don't want to overhype things. And I think that Kangen water has done that.
Oh,
okay?
For sure.
All right.
Well, and it's the MLM of it, right? Because Kangen water, people people do the MLM to make money as a business. They're not doing it for the product.
But it's still a good
Yes.
unit. I'd say it's a great unit.
Yes.
Okay, it's a great unit.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
Next from Paulina Santos. How long does the detox tea good for? And how long is the detox tea good for in the fridge? Thanks for all your tips.
Well, it could be good for 2 weeks, but the reality is only make enough for a week.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. So if it's just you, then you could freeze a quart. You could only make you could make 2 quarts out of 1 bag. You know, so.
Yeah, I make a week at a time, and it's good, but I wouldn't want it to go past that week.
No.
Personally.
Remember, it's a food, okay?
Yeah.
Salads. Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Next is from Owen. Hi, hope you guys are doing well. What is a great way to start healing myself from chronic illness? I am 19 and just want my life back. Thanks so much.
Well, the reality is go into the library and really go to the Perfect Day, look at fasting for perfect health, and really start eating up all these Q&As and really investing into this and just watch the one-a-days on Facebook, because I'm giving continual support there, because repetition is the key to mastery. Okay? And understand, to really heal yourself, mind your own business. Don't talk about all the new things you're doing to people too much, especially your family, because that will test them too much and they might just accidentally throw you off your groove. Not them, but their beliefs. Okay? So that was what I would say. And then I would call up and get a Perfect Day consultation from Abby or Sarah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And just definitely go read The Perfect Day, The Braveheart Way, and
really start taking...
do your research.
Yeah.
I've been there. I was there around your age too. And it's you're going to be fine. You're going to get through this. And
oh my
honestly,
gosh. And you're asking the question.
The body heals so quickly. You're going to be fine. Just do your research and start taking action.
Remember something. You've asked the question. So you're 19. Understand this. Do you know how many people wake up before they're 50? People don't. They just know they can't live like that any longer. And do you know why they stay asleep until they're 50? Because the whole family is. And it's hard to know you're not awake when everyone else is asleep. And I'm not putting anybody down. That's the name of the game down here. So why don't you get your own game started? Okay? Like I told you on my one-a-day today, I don't opt into any governmental game. I don't opt into corporations. I don't opt into any... I won't get into it. It's my game. When you enter my game, it's my rules. Okay?
Thank you for your question, Owen. And next is from Maria. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Thanks, Dr. Wolfe. So I told you there'd be some comments in here.
Good.
Thank you for the comment.
Thank you for the comment.
Christine Bradley. Is tummy love enough humic for your diet?
Well, it depends on how much you need and how much you drink. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
it depends
like
how much you're taking of the tummy love.
I put a teaspoon to a tablespoon of tummy love in every quart of water. So I can't tell you, but your tummy will tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
Your tummy will tell you. Okay.
Thank you so much. Next is from Marilyn Weaver. My mother didn't want any children, and she had 7 of us. I believed if my own mom didn't love me, I must be unlovable. She was mentally ill with schizoaffective disorder, which I understand and have compassion for as an adult. Yet until I reach the mind mapping phase of Braveheart, how can I help myself rewrite some of the traumas that I am remembering? Thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
Don't go there now, Marilyn. I know who you are. I know what's going on. We met in Florida. Go there now. Go do it now. Okay, do the 2 last steps, right? Which are?
Mind mapping and recall healing. Yeah, you don't need to wait.
You get there, girl, and you do it now. And you know what? You sit there quietly, and when you go through that mind mapping, you stay there, and you go back to that first. And let me tell you something. That belief that your mother had, okay, has handicapped you. And that's all it is, okay? And understand something. So unconditional love for mommy, okay? Unconditional love for yourself. Go back to the past when that happened. Visualize it. And then I want you to tell the story of how you would have loved to have seen it. And once you tell that story about the way it should have been, well, how would you like to see it? My mommy wanted me. My mommy, she embraced me. She wanted me more than anything else. And when I got here, she loved me like no one else could love me. And I want you to take that into your heart. It's as simple as that. If you can do this, Marilyn, then guess what? Then you're a superstar. And the reason why I say you're a superstar is because we're born from the stars. And now you've just said, I'm going to love what I am, and that is all spirit. Okay? So, you know what, Marilyn? It's your game. It's your rules. Go back into the past. Be in the present moment right here. Go back into the past. Rewrite history. Rewrite the story the way you'd like to see it. Bring it forward into the present and into the future. And I'll tell you something. That's how it is. There's the key right there.
And write the story down. And the biggest thing, feel it in your heart. That is so important, because when you actually feel it and visualize yourself back in that time.
And guess what? If you don't, you're going to relive this till the end of time. And depending on your beliefs, you may relive it in other lives if you believe in that. So understand something. Let's write the story today the way we want it.
Yeah. And if you have to, if it keeps coming back, like the thought keeps coming back, the problem is that we need to reprogram that synapse, right? So we need to disconnect it and reconnect it to the new thought. So if you can reread the stories even and keep telling it like you're reading a storybook of your past, reading a journal of your life before. Imagine that it was actually how it happened, and don't let your mind go back to the way it actually was.
We were created to create. Get going.
Okay, next one is from Rajmi. Thank you so much for your answer, Dr. Wolfe. How do you treat tooth infections? How we mentioned.
We talked about it earlier. If you could go to that.
Yeah. So with the silver, the tea tree,
because right now I feel like I'm getting a suntan in here.
Yeah. The lights are bright. Okay, next one from Kimberly Lavery from YouTube. Confused as my daughter's oncologist is saying to do radiation even though the chemotherapy is working and is now clear. But it's still in her bones and there's still a tumor in her pelvis. Any advice on what she could be taking to help?
Ken, I have to be honest with you. This is a personal decision, okay? So I'm into natural health, so I'm going to be trying to guide you to natural health. I'm into loving yourself, so I'm going to guide you into totally loving yourself. The doctor is into chemo and radiation, so what's he going to be guiding you into?
Chemo and radiation.
So you need to understand it's your game, your rules. What do you feel comfortable with? Okay? I had a lady that came to me and said, Dr. Wolfe, I'm really scared you won't treat me anymore. I said, why is that? Well, because I really believe that if I don't go for chemo, I'll die. And I said, go for chemo and you have my blessing. And then I'll even help you through it, okay? Because that's it. Because you are your beliefs. And, all I can say is you might want to book a consult with us and maybe not. But the reality is, what are you willing to invest into time and action? And quit having a reaction, okay? And that's where, you may not believe this, but I'm not just talking about medical doctors, but everyone in authority today has been taught to create panic and anxiety in people. And I am not going, you couldn't make me feel anxious if you tried. You could tell me, Darrell, a bomb just went off on the other side of the bridge, and I'd say, well, I'm doing a Q&A. Because guess what? They don't need more chaos over there. My energy, my heart is with them, but I'm not going to feel sorry for them either. Because you have to understand something. The last time you felt sorry for something, even if it's your daughter or something else, how did that make you feel? It dropped your guard. And that's when these negative beliefs come in. You need to hold strong and hold the light. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. And next one is from, Rajmi just said, got it. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
That's right. 3, 2, 1.
You got this.
You got this.
Next is from Laura Weir from Facebook. Abby's facelifts are amazing. Thanks, Laura. Come in for another one. They're the best.
You think that's good? You should try her pelvic lift.
Yeah.
Her breast lift.
Abdomen lift.
She'll lift you right
I
up.
can lift you to the heavens.
That's right.
Okay. And that was our last comment. We're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
We
So don't
finished
miss
off.
this week's show. Check the Doc of Detox show.com.
Yeah.
And we've got a great show. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's Wednesday. Check it out. And also, we'll be back here
On Friday.
to do the Q&A, and we will start sharp at
11 a.m. So submit all your questions. We should get the form submission set up before that. If not, just keep putting them in the same way that you have been. And we can't wait to come back and give you all the answers you deserve.
And just know your calls, your questions are greatly appreciated. And the spirit in us honors the spirit in you. Have the best day of your life. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.